Two cutters through the middle. Adia for three.
Namaste and welcome to King's Birthday Tournament, KBT, the New Zealand Indian National Hockey Tournament, formerly QBT, hosted by NZISA and the Wellington Indian Sports Club. We're coming to you live from NHS here in Wellington on the long weekend Monday. It's a overcast day, the wind is blowing, the rain is held off at the moment, but it's finals day here at KBT 2023. I'm joined in commentary by Hitu Patel. Hitu, the NZI lead coach and Hockey New Zealand coaching legend. Good to have you up here and looking over this men's final.
Yeah, thank you, Brad, for the introduction. And yeah, it's sure to be a good game. Weather may play an impact, but we'll be yet to see. Obviously, with Wellington, they do have a few players out today. Hemant Lala, probably the noticeable difference, but also he was the coaching difference in yesterday's semi-final. So we'll expect some big things from Wellington B today.
Yeah, and it is our matchup. It's our men's B section final here between Central Districts and Wellington B. The home team here making it through to the big dance at Wellington, of course. And like you mentioned, Wellington, they got through North Harbour in their semi-final in a bit of an upset, you might say, based on form going in. And Central Districts, well, they weathered an early scare from Bay of Plenty and got through in their semi as well. So big dance here in the men's B section. Like any final, this one's anybody's, and it'll be the team that can execute their game plan and potentially battle the effects of fatigue and weather will get themselves over the line today. Just of note as well, this is a TNG Shield match as well. So you see the Wellington boys out there at the moment. They've got the shield in hand. So that one's up for grabs, as well as Section B Championship as well. As we take a look at the lineups, Central Districts, as I mentioned, they've been strong all weekend. Conan Arasi, Yogesh Hari at the back, Vijay Soma at the front. They've got names right through their team, but it'd be hard to go past Amanjot Singh, the young midfielder there from the Hawke's Bay, who's been lighting this tournament up. You'll have a bit of an eye on him.
Yeah, definitely. Like he impressed me on day one, and he's continued to impress. Just he's young but very mature with his hockey. A lot of good decision making. We've seen it in every game. So yeah, pretty excited to see him out here today in a finals, pressure match, to see how he goes. Yeah,
and then on the other side of things, of course, this Wellington side, as I mentioned, at home, holders of the shield currently, and the likes of Midish Patel. He's taken the track pants off, so it's confirmed he will play. We were a little bit worried that we won't see him, but no, the tracksuit's come off. The other one I've been impressed with is Anil Patel, the goalkeeper, who's been strong for the Wellington B side. And you mentioned Hemant Lala. He won't be out there today. 2 games back into his career, he's blowing the hammy, so coaching, you mentioned, could be the difference. Certainly helped them over the line yesterday in their semi. A big game here, hits, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned that Midish Patel yesterday was absolute dynamite watching that Harbour semi-final, and he really controlled the midfield with the young guys in and around him, and I think that could be the difference today. But, we've already talked about the CD team. They're looking to get into A section, so I think that's a big game for both teams, and we're in for a cracker.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see the teams go through their final preparations there, it will be Wellington in the Sky Blues, Central Districts there in their dark grey with green. The teams will come out here to the Hooter now. Yeah, the weather's trying its best to stay away. We can live with wind, but we'll try and dodge the rain. I've got to make a special shout out to the women's games that battled through the downpour middle of yesterday to get through their games. We hope not to see too much more of that this morning. Let the hockey do the talking, not the weather. As we come out here, our umpires for today's match, Nathan Waddle and Sam Harrison. The boys in yellow, they'll lead the 2 teams out. And I'll just make a mention, a bit of the history behind the tournament. Of course, Wellington Indian Sports Club founded in 1935. The first coronation tournament held over Sovereign's birthday weekend, which was the forerunner to QBT, took place here at Maidstone Park in Wellington. Following that and the rejuvenation of the Indian sports clubs in the 1950s, brought across the formation of the New Zealand Indian Central Sports Organisation, which later became the NZISA. And of course, just there, the Diane Chan Trophy, which was awarded to the winning men's team, was donated by the NZICSO and contested for the first time here in Wellington, and won by the Wellington men about 60 years ago now. So in celebrations in and around that 60th year, there's a few events coming up over the next calendar year in celebration of that. So massive tournament, good to be back here in Wellington, and it's our first ever KBT with its name change from the QBT. And what a big weekend it's been. Hitu, you've had a pretty tough job in terms of selections and national squads and all the bits of it for NZI. How impressed have you been with the skill level at this year's tournament?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty high level over the years watching. I think this is one of the better tournaments in terms of talent identification, and across both men's and women's, and even the B grade versus the A grade. There's some great talent that's coming through the B grade. As we said, Amarjot Singh, one of them. When you get some of these finds, it's spectacular.
Yeah, and it's been good to have a few teams back in the mix. Bay Plenty men are back, Waikato here again, North Harbour are back, and again it just allows opportunities. Guys like Sanjay Lala, Harmanpreet Singh, guys that perhaps we didn't see last year in Christchurch, to jump back in the mixer. And we're away here. It's our men's B section final between Wellington B here, first use of the ball, and Central Districts. And first advantage there, the CD. They'll roll forward off the error.
It was a good zone press to start with there, and they just identified the opportunity and put them under pressure with a good turnover.
Yeah, one thing that will be interesting to see, I mentioned there battling a bit of fatigue, is just to see what teams do in terms of their off-ball work. Do they still have the legs to high press for long periods, or is it going to be a little more three-quarter zonal type of shape? We'll see here. Wellington just happy to sit in their zones at the moment.
Yep, a tactic that worked really well for them yesterday, just thriving off the counter-attacks. And they're looking like that today here with a half court.
Yeah, and it's worked for them there. Just you see them happy to let CD roll the ball around the back and force them to go up the sidelines and create the error there. Here's Wellington now. Trying to get through a bit of traffic. That one's not going to fall for them. And there's Jivanjot Singh with Amanjot Singh. They come through the captain, Krishka Jada. There's Konanarasi. Opportunity here, Vijay Soma. And there he is, the cool head, figuratively and literally today, I think.
Gets them out of a bit of trouble there, yeah, nice work. Already can see two styles of play here, don't we? Wellington opting for the half court, CD opting to start with a pretty aggressive press, and working effectively for both teams at the moment. Yeah,
it's one thing I noticed when I spoke to Yogesh yesterday. He's been really happy that they've got a good bench, the CD boys, so perhaps with the legs to roll that full press for the duration or long periods of the game. And there's the free hit trying to go direct. That'll be an interesting battle of the two masters up the middle of the field there, Yogs v Middish.
Yeah, definitely, Yogs is very experienced. You saw him there just holding the ball, looking for the spaces and the opportunities rather than forcing it.
Yeah, you can already see when Wellington do get that turnover, they are trying to go pretty fast-paced to their front line.
Yeah, the CD defence is going to have to work pretty hard today. The counter-attacks are always dangerous, so if you don't get numbers back, they'll look to get them behind you, which they did so effectively against North Harbour. Yeah, and I think, CD saw that firsthand against Bay Plenty yesterday in the goal they conceded.
was that style. And here we go, Central Districts with the halfway turnover. Wellington doing well just to get numbers back and make it a bit of a mess. That's heads up play. The opportunity still here for CD. Krishka Jada, you're not going to get through Middish that easily. And he's away too. The bright shoes, hard to miss.
Waiting for some numbers.
Yeah, looking for his runner. That's an incredible pass too. Past 4 people to his 1 striker. Here they come here, Wellington. Yeah, and though these 2 teams met on day 1, this is going to be a very different game to what we saw there. Central Districts having, well, most of the run of that one. Wellington have got up for the weekend. Here we go, a little opportunity around the dotted circle. Wellington, there's the entry. Still there, Wellington. It's scrambly, and it's a 16-yard hit. They were just a little bit late to react to the ball in there, Wellington.
Yeah, a little bit of mis-execution there in the middle defensively from CD. They'll look to clean that up, but you can already see when Wellington are in that front third, they're looking hungry. They're looking to just get that one on the scoreline.
Yeah, and again, back into their half court here at the Wellington side. Happy just to shift across that midline. And even there, that 1 entry doesn't phase Wellington too much because the numbers are still there or thereabouts.
There we go. That was a Middish Patel versus Middish Patel
Yeah.
lineup just then.
Yeah.
1 in CD, 1 in Wellington.
Yeah, we've had a fair bit of that over the weekend. The joys of the commentary box. You can look up and down the team lists and say the same name a couple of times. Here we go, Jay Ranchard.
Good ball in.
There we go. Oh, good scramble there in the end by Wellington. It was Anil Patel getting out and smothering that one. The entry there from Jay Ranchard. Good circle entry, but again, just not executing in the circle at the moment. Perhaps big game nerves, a little bit of fatigue. All factors out here in our men's B section final. And good to see, and you'll notice if you've ever been to a QBT, the red jackets that float around once a year, every year. It is the CD faithful.
Yep, that's exactly right. They come out in numbers, and they're out in numbers today, which is great to see to support their team. Yep. In another B grade final, you know, as we said, looking to try and get that promotion into A grade. Has always been their aim, and it's good to see them back in the final this year.
And here they'll go down into the attacking third here with a sideline hit. It's Upindadada there on the ball. Yogeshari, good bit of distance between the 2 middles here. Sanjay Patel. Interestingly there, Middish from Wellington, he'd actually read the the pass out to Jay Ranchard and was already waiting there for it.
Yeah, that's just a great experience, you know. Yep. Like half courts aren't easy to play, but if you practice it well, that was just great vision to go, okay, where's the passing options, let's just shut it off, and Middish Patel's read that really well. Interesting.
It's actually something we saw in, I think it was the Wellington women's game yesterday, sitting in their half court, they just ran across to the opposite half as soon as the ball went, and often cut it off because they knew where it was coming. Really good heads-up play, and it's on show again here from Middish Patel and the Wellington boys. All over distance into the mixer. It's bouncing. And under control in the end there. Here he is again. Middish Patel with some work to do.
Oh, nice pass around the back.
Great pass. And,
silky.
Yeah, and the 3D skill to follow up. But it's back the other way here. CD. Upindadada, he's going to knock it back across the field. Change that point of attack. There's options out here. Good bit of skill there. Of course, Hidi. Another one of the Patel boys out there. Hiddish and Middish for CD. You'll be watching one of those with close watch.
Definitely.
Of course, the brother out there.
Yep, Middish, my brother out there, he's still pulling it through for the family.
How's that for a 1-2 combo when you're out there coaching?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see maybe one day. I don't know if he wants me as coach.
I was going to say, he might not listen to you.
He'll probably teach me a few things since he's still in the game.
And we see here we're about 6 minutes to play in this first quarter. Nothing really troubling either goalkeeper or the scorers table just yet. But pretty typical of a final here. Hitu, just teams feeling out what each other are going to do, where the perhaps chinks in the armour might be.
Yeah, it's always an interesting one in finals. Just got to feel out the other team. Always hard, like we said, in the half court. You know, how do you break that down if you haven't really spoken about it? And oh, here's an attacking opportunity here, just on the edge of the circle for CD.
Jay Ranchard, ball in. And I've done well there, Wellington. It was a good overlap play there. Found Jay Ranchard just out on the edge of the circle.
Oh, silky skills from Middish Patel there just to get that free.
And the ball, 3-on-3 here. The ball's there for them, Wellington. It's over. And he's cleaned up. Jay Ranchard, Amanjot Singh.
There was a good attacking opportunity there from Wellington.
Yeah.
You just see that hunger. As soon as they go and open up 3v3, it was almost nearly a goal.
Yeah, and special mention there to Kiran Pabu in goal, who's had to get out on the baseline and do his best there. The ball did end up getting flipped over him, and but first to it was Amanjot Singh, and Jay Ranchard had come running back from the other end. Here we go. Yeah, just not able to link up there. It looked like Girish Pabu there down on the attacking baseline, and they'll fall back out again, the Wellington boys.
It's good so far from CD just to not be looking long. They're just sort of finding their feet a little bit with their passing, and you'll watch the two defenders here just seeing where the gaps are.
Yeah, I think one thing that this half court does, and it's similar to what I saw Auckland B try and do against Pukekohe yesterday, is take out the big overhead threat. Of course, Yogesh at the back for CD throws a big bomb, and if you're too spaced out, those gaps open up, similar to, like I said, Nedish and the Puki boys.
Yeah, exactly right.
It'll be interesting to see how CD build up their attack without that space. They're going to have to do a lot of work and moving the players around, especially through the midfield, to open up the gaps, or through these midfield turnovers.
It's a good ball through.
Yeah, Vijay Soma, Conan Arce, Soma, still there, CD, and it's cleaned up. And they're away here, Wellington.
Oh,
excellent
good work rate.
Yeah, solid work back from Conan Arce. Spoke to his dad earlier this morning, his first tournament out here, based in Palmy with the Army. Good to see him out here.
Yeah, and he's been shown to be a talent. He scored 4 on the first day, and you know, you need players that can execute in front of goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be looking to see if he can get his name on the scoreboard today.
Yeah, and good to see the work rate too there from a striker working all the way back. Oh, ball, Amanjot Singh. Just couldn't get that one away, Hiddish.
Yeah, that work rate that you spoke about has been one of the things I've been impressed with at this tournament, and you know, no matter if you're a striker, working right back to the defensive half, you know, has been really good to see. And will the legs hold up? We'll see, but it's good to just see that intent already in this game.
Yeah, and I guess that's something you'll be looking at too as a selector. It's easy when things are going forward and going your way, but what does the work rate look like when it's not, especially from some of these younger players? You see there, if it's going to fall for them, Amanjot Singh, he's dangerous in this area. He's got his entry.
It's a good tackle.
Fantastic bit of defensive work there. Above it, Wadwa. And he's away to the races. And possession back there to CD on halfway. Another one of those players that does work back is Amanjot Singh. You just saw him there again. He took the, or attempted to take the shot. Got back to halfway as quick as the ball did. And there again.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be interested to see how he goes against his half court. Didn't quite feature in that first 5 minutes, but he's now starting to find more ball, which is obviously dangerous for Wellington.
Yeah, and we've seen his ability to beat defenders, but I think in that half court you've kind of got to beat one, move it on, and then try and get it back. There's just not enough space to go on a beating spree.
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, it'll be good to see that level of his game.
There's Vijay Soma here trying to work past Midish Patel down in the corner. That one's cut out, but only as far as the sideline. Jivanjot Singh onto the ball here for CD. Back out to the master, Yogs. And the long handle, Jay Parag, very nearly an opportunity there for CD. Just in the late stages of the quarter there, they know that there's less than 20 on the clock. And that one, Yogs has a little bit of a smile as he trots back to his dugout. I think, Yogs, you're a little bit early for the NZI golf tournament. That's end of November.
Pretty even first quarter, which we'd probably expect from two very good teams in a final. It'll be interesting to see some of the changes that might be made in the next quarter. CD will probably be talking about how do we break down that half court a little bit better, and then Wellington just looking at a little bit of execution piece. Yeah,
as we check out some of the One Foundation replays here, it was a typical first quarter of a final. A few opportunities, but not a mountain of either way. Both teams just getting into their work early on, and yeah, the highlights here mostly in and around that edge of the circle type of stuff, just the way the teams were in and defending. This one very nearly got its way over the third time. Milish Patel was ready for it though, and it was probably the big one for Wellington.
I think that was probably one of the better opportunities in that game today, in the first quarter.
Yeah, and then a couple here at the death, or one. You see Midish there
trying to get the penalty corner in there, telling the umpire. Unlucky on that stage.
Yeah. Although I guess you make your own luck here in finals, and Midish trying to throw a quick $10 to Sam Harrison and catch an early one. But yeah, no penalty corners so far. And like you said, both teams here will be talking about what they've seen from the other. You see Vijay Soma, and they're pretty vocal for Central Districts. Like you said, they'll have to break down this half court, get a little bit more ball movement and player movement in the middle of the field, just to draw out the players. And there we see the Wellington boys there. They'll have a bit of work to do in terms of the higher press of CD and their counter attack that was so good for them in yesterday's semi-final. So we'll see KP here come back out to his spot. Teams out here for quarter two. It's our men's B section final here at KBT. Score's still locked up at 0-0. It's Wellington B taking on Central Districts. And we're underway here. Wellington again, use of the ball, Midish Patel. And I've found a little bit of an opportunity here, Wellington. Working up the left side. The drop-off pass, though, falls to Midish. He's got Amanjot Singh on the inside, Conan Arce on the outside, and an inside drag. Yeah, that's nice.
Another great tackle there from Wellington on Amanjot Singh there.
Yeah, it's Wadwa again, and he's shown a bit of toe when he gets going forward here. Wadwa and the transfer. But again, a lot of numbers in the picture for Central Districts there. I think what you just saw there from Middish was just to beat one, get the pass, and then see how we can get it back.
Yeah, and it's a good one to do. If you can get someone, then you get the extra number and hopefully try to create, you know, further opportunities in that front third.
Yeah, and again here is that that half court from Wellington B.
Yeah, Yogg's just happy to walk it up, looking for the movements.
Yeah, so, you know, from a coaching perspective, we don't want to give too much away, but what sort of things are you looking for, I guess, from your players ahead of the ball when you're playing up against that half court?
Yeah, on the ball you're sort of looking for like halves to be able to rotate into the midfield. You need to be able to move the defence to create the gaps, and sometimes it's okay to put it in the midfield, contract that half court and then bring it out and around the outside. I think CD haven't done it quite like that yet. The Yogs is just looking for those overhead pockets at the moment and looking to go around them. I think CD can do a little bit more to just break it down.
Yeah, so in terms of the Wellington side, they're just trying to sit in lanes at the moment, populate that certainly middle section of the field. But like you say, if they can just get into that pocket, sort of where Middish is there at the moment.
Correct.
And either attract a defender and then play out, or if they leave him to play one-on-one, perhaps eliminate and then find his next pass.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think you watch Middish Patel from Wellington there just sits in that nice middle pocket, so he's the driver of that half court because he can go either side, and you can already see it working quite well. He'll push up on the midfielders that try to get into those sort of boxes which they're looking to do to be able to pocket press. So Central just need to try to draw that in, get it back out, and then just keep that ball moving.
Yeah, and that's the other thing for those players posting up to get that ball. They've got to understand that that space is actually being given to them on purpose. They're wanting to trap it in there, so it's got to come in and out pretty quickly. There's a better showing of it. But again, just ran into the wall of Wellington.
Yeah, and I think Wellington will be quite comfortable, as you said, just the ball in there. And you can see Middish Patel gets up pretty quickly on those pocket pressing opportunities.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of an error here. They're going to come out of shape a little bit, Wellington, just to put pressure on that, but back in they go. Amanjot Singh looking. They're really going to have to be good moving the ball. That's a nice pass to the baseline. Just a little untidy there in the execution around the edge of the circle.
Oh, it's good over.
Very nearly big opportunity for Wellington. They had a couple of numbers streaming forward. They'll keep it through the long corner. But the overhead pass there from Middish Patel for Wellington.
Looks like a long corner there.
Yeah, long corner here for Wellington. Wind still up out there on turf one.
But great vision for Middish Patel there, and it's probably a clear tactic to try to get in behind the defence of Central Districts when they are flat. They just were a little bit flat on defence there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too when you're we've got an opportunity here at Wellington B. And numbers here. Yeah, when you're having to play against the half court, often your two middles can get quite flat. So on the quick turnover, if you can throw it in behind, the counter cover's not often in a good shape.
Yeah, exactly right. As CD now come for their own counter attack. Wellington got good numbers back again, which is great to see.
Yeah. And the exciting thing with both teams having to look at using that counter is it's going to open up a little bit at some stage in this game. The chess match of the first two quarters is not going to be able to stay that way.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If CD move the ball, you know, you start getting Wellington running a bit more. Legs come into play. Ooh, as it goes across the goal there.
Vijay Soma needed to get on the belly. Vijay there in a pretty good spot. And in the circle was the quick ball across the front of goal. And on come the changes for both sides there. It's a nice one-touch pass too down the line. Wellington need some more numbers catching up to the play. They're 3 on 5 at the moment, and one of them, Middish Patel. He was far forward there as Wadwa beats one, and the pass will get a sideline hit for Wellington. Up they'll come here. Midish Patel onto the ball. A couple more players will join the attack. Again, just solid on-ball pressure from CD. Wins them back the ball. Here is Vijay Soma. This one is a 3-on-3 at the moment. A couple of numbers coming back for Wellington.
He's got it back.
Got it again, made up for it.
Oh,
Hiddish. Oh, wow. Tell you what, I think it was Prashant Chika there who didn't get it right the first time, but the work rate to get it back again and roll one across the front there for Hiddish very nearly for CD, and you can just see there the counter-attack can come from either side. A good one there for CD.
Again, looking to high press.
Yeah, and against that, Wellington trying to go quickly to not allow that front three to set up. Yeah, interesting. Haven't seen a real, I was about to say it, big overhead threat out of Wellington, but there's one down the line. Opened up.
Well, we've got numbers here.
Yeah, there are numbers. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Oh, that can't have missed by much. He got the shot away in traffic.
He's done well to get that shot, and,
yeah,
and a very near miss there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he was able to get it there. It seemed like the reverse stick wasn't on for Pranish Patel, but it was going goalward or just slightly off.
Yeah, he's done well to pull that off, and yeah, another good opportunity for Wellington.
Yeah, so shots fired both ends now, and things just starting to work their way in a little bit now. And Midish Patel uses his one of many get out of jail free cards there on the home turf.
Definitely right. As CD now build it up, there's a few holes opening up in this period of play at the moment for both teams.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's oh, whoa, what a ball. Upinadada into Konanarasi. Just couldn't link up there. But good turnover, high press again. Here comes Jay Ranchod. Yeah, anywhere but there, I think. Anywhere other than through the wall
I think
of Midish.
they might want to take some lessons and probably go around Midish Patel.
Yep.
He's very solid with that tackle, gets down quite low.
Here we go again. Wadwa just about went behind the back. They'll take the free hit there, though. Wellington just in the attacking half. Very nearly there. The one-touch pass through traffic. Again, it was Bhavat Wadwa, number 4, who'd gone streaming up the front from right half.
Yeah, both teams having some good attacking opportunities at the moment, which is great to see.
It'd be interesting to see this Wellington team. It's tough to keep the discipline of staying in that half court, weather the storm, whether some of these guys just get a little bit itchy and have a go.
Yeah, that's always the case, but I'm not sure you want to have words with him at Lala if you get out of structure here.
Yeah.
And Midish Patel's very controlling in that midfield, so he'll be helping those young boys. Just stay in the contest, stay patient, let things happen.
Yeah, those are a couple of guys that have seen and been in a number of finals. They know how this stuff works. It's not the 7-goal slang that happens in pool games. This one is a grind out, and it could very well be a 1-0 type of affair. And it's just the small mistakes that create those opportunities.
Yeah, definitely right.
Here we go again, CD up in the full press. Midish Patel, that's incredible vision there. Under pressure to know where that overlap player was.
Yeah, I've been noticing that's Midish Patel from Wellington's really just getting on the ball a lot, and he's going both sides, going back, going forward, and that could be quite dangerous for CD if they don't shut too much of that off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's able, as you saw there, able to eliminate 1 or 2 defenders just from one touch of the ball because he knows where things are before the ball gets to him. We talk to young players all the time about pre-scanning and having a plan. That's an exponent of it right there.
Yeah, and then just the execution piece of it, right? Like we have a plan, and just to be able to pull that off in the manner that he did in that passing sequence is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we're in under the 5-minute mark here for the second quarter. Still 0-0 on the scoreboard. It's our men's B section final here at KBT 2023, of course, hosted by this year's finalists, Wellington Indian Sports Club, in conjunction with the NZISA. And of course, the tournament couldn't be put on without the fantastic support and sponsorship from the local sponsors here. A special thank you to Bolorama, Foursquare Awapuni, Just Hockey Newtown, Lambton Goods, Lion, Liquorland Miramar, Pack and Save Kilburnie, Paul Reddish Decorations, Shire's Fruit and Veggie, Office Public House Bar, and of course One Foundation. And One Foundation, one of the big sponsors and supporters of not only this tournament but NZI and our live stream here, brought to you by Local Gecko Productions. Thank you, One Foundation. As we see Amanjot Singh working a little bit of his magic around the edge of the circle. That one, that's a brain explosion there from Chetan Ranchod on the edge of the circle for Wellington. Amanjot Singh had earned the free hit as we see this One Foundation replay. There we go. Wins his free hit there, takes it straight away, and that is no choice other than the penalty corner.
He did try his best to say I was 5, but I don't think that was quite 5.
No, I'm not sure that's even 5 samosas away from where that free hit was taken.
I think just great decision making from Amanjot Singh there. Great skill hands, and then just to be able to earn that free, get the first penalty corner of the game.
Yeah, and we talk about wanting to see him pass. That's where he wants to use the skills. That's perfect use of that ability. Here we go, first corner. It's a debacle on all accounts there. Wellington went early, fell out of the goal, stepped back in, they rolled it anyway, and I think Amanjot Singh thought the whistle was going to come, so just rolled it onto the reverse.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a clear tactic, not running out and then seeing what they do, because Amanjot decided to not go for the flick in that instance.
And look, probably had more time than he's ever had. There was no runners there, Adam. I don't know, Hiddy, if you call that a low box or...
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty a low box, or just everyone defend the goal sort of situation.
Yeah, how's that? We'll go with 4 linemen.
Yeah, four posties and a goalkeeper.
Oh, there we go. Fast pass, circle entry. Free hit on the edge. Pretty rough contest there on the dotted circle. It was our man again, Chetan Ranchod, there for Wellington. And Kade Krish Gajeda here for CD. He's crabbing around that dotted circle and takes the good option here of just pulling the Wellington defenders out and away.
Yeah, good option there. They'd been peppering that right-hand side, and now bring it out, try open up some more gaps.
Yeah, just see if what Wellington's push-out shape looks like. Oh! Vijay Soma looked like he was defending Harish Patel. And they were just about holding hands when they scored it. Vijay Soma with his hand in the air. He'll take the cookies as we see this One Foundation replay. We just saw there this slide around by the central defender. Sanjay Patel read it, slider. Not his cleanest work. But yeah, the two
might have
standing.
been a deflection or a mistrap, but it doesn't really matter. It counts on the scoreline. What a great ball there, though. Like we always talk about, just getting that slight little lift, and couldn't have played any more to perfection there with that slider going through. So great ball from CD to put themselves one up. Yeah,
and how important might that tell in the final 20 seconds of that first half here? Although Wellington, perhaps a little bit of a magic trick of their own. It's less than 10 here. And that's not going to do it, unfortunately, here. Huge goal there for Central Districts, and it's broken the deadlock here in our men's B section final. Yeah, interesting to see there, Vijay Soma and Harish Patel almost on each other's toes. You know, you get grumpy at one unmarked player in the circle, but two of them.
And it's probably hard to mark. Who do you mark in that situation? 2 on the back post, but yeah, great positioning, and good to get that one on the scoreboard for them. Yeah,
and again, that came out of, like we said, they were peppering away on that attacking right, pulled it out, saw what is their central striker going to do. Are they going to push and swing and but instead they chased around. The central striker chased around, and the opportunity came. As we see some of the One Foundation highlights, it was Vijay Soma, an opportunity earlier in the half. This one here just overrun. Soma again, he's been in the thick of things up there for CD.
Yeah, Wellington keep making some good saves.
And then some opportunity themselves here. Wellington this one. They'll breathe a sigh of relief. Kiran Pabu in goal. Amanjot Singh and Jay Ranchod working back in their defence. We saw a lot of this, just CD moving the ball around the back, looking for the ball through. And Wellington here, they had a couple of circle entries, nothing really in that second quarter to trouble KP in goal. So Connor Narasi, he's been up in the mixer as well. That one going past Vijay Soma. Here he is again. Just love being spoken about, Vijay, getting into the highlights.
Good recovery there and getting a shot away.
Yeah. And this pass here, the all threaded through, reverse stick shot somehow. Got it away there. And we saw some of the silkiness of Amanjot Singh. Using his skill, knowing when to use it, takes it quickly. And the first penalty corner of the match. And yeah, this one's a dog's breakfast in the end. I'm not sure what you call that.
I don't know, but there was 3 posties on that one side, so maybe just block the flick off by just standing there.
Yeah, block wall.
And here we see it.
That's the ball in there, touched by Vijay Soma. Carefully watched in by Hitesh Patel. And here we are, Wellington, NHS. It's KBT 2023 men's B section final here. Central Districts ahead 1-0. And there they are, the Red Jackets. It's the CD support crew out and in full force here.
Yeah, they'll be loud and vocal out there supporting their team on, which is always great, you know, when you have some support on the sidelines to just get that little bit more intensity up, you know, when things are flat. So City will look to thrive off that, I think.
Yeah, and you see the two teams out there at the moment. Hitu, what do you think this Wellington team, and specifically him and Lala there, is talking to his team about how do they arm wrestle this one back?
Yeah, don't count them out. I think they'll still opt for the bit of half court to thrive off the counter-attacks, because they have had attacking opportunities, maybe not as many as I'd like, but I think it's just about being patient and then just working off the CD mistakes, which they'll do, and then no doubt in that fourth quarter, if they are still 1-0 down, look for the flair of some of the tactical plays that Hemmett might throw out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take a quick look at some of the results from earlier in the weekend. Of course, these games played Saturday and Sunday. That's the middle block of games there. We saw these two teams get their way through. We had a shootout there between the Bay of Plenty women and the Auckland women, which put a real mixer on things leading into the next game we've got coming up. CD men, you can see they're big winners over Waikato, who are back in the grade. North Harbour, they had a good win, but couldn't get here through to the B section final. The other big score there, the Puki A men, who we'll see a little bit later as well. Tight semi-finals, 2-1 CD, 3-1 Wellington men, although they were 3-0 at one point. And of course we had the shootout between Pukekohe and Wellington A last night in the last game of the day. And here we are with the men's final. That's how they got here, and we are here now 1-0 to Central Districts. And then the rest of the day, we've got a short day here, 3 games on Turf 1. We'll be bringing you, of course, the women's game, which pretty much becomes a final the way things have stacked up, North Harbour and Bay of Plenty. It's not technically one, but it's pretty close. And then, of course, we'll wrap up with the men's A fighting for the Diane Chand here on Turf 1. It'll be Puki taking on Auckland A. And we're back here, third quarter. Central Districts with use of the ball. They're ahead 1-0 on the scoreboard, and we've spoken over the first 2 days about teams getting bonus points and all the whatever. It doesn't matter here. This is final and final only. 1 is enough. I know it won't be enough for the comfort levels, but no chasing a bonus point, no forcing a second, but I'm sure Central Districts will be wanting to get that buffer.
Yeah, exactly.
If they
And
can.
that's finals hockey for you. And as we saw, Wellington starting with that half court again, just looking to be patient, look for the CD mistakes, and hopefully get some counter attacks. But CD starting well already into that attacking third.
Yeah, and up that left side there at the moment, there's Amanjot Singh beating 1, 2. Like we said, might have wanted to see the pass after 1, get it back. Here's the counter, CD, Midish Patel leading the break. Oh, on a dime too. 3-on-3 here, 3-on-4 now. Still rolling Wellington. CD doing well to get numbers back in the picture, but that one's very nearly the top of the circle. Midish and Hiddish working together to cut that one out.
Yeah, Hiddish has done a great job to be at the top of the circle. Now he's back up front receiving the ball just then.
You can see the legs getting a little tired on him. Hiddish, one who won't be getting tired, Amanjot Singh. The young legs, they'll have to lean on them today.
Yeah, as he called it, experience versus
Yeah.
himself, I heard the other day.
Yeah. The word old might have slipped out at one point, along with vintage and experienced and all the rest of the colloquialisms, but yeah, he'll have to repay them by putting in a full shift here with his energy this morning. Here we go, turn on the ball.
Yep, done well there to put off the pass.
Yeah, that's a better one there. You just see it's got him behind that second layer. Working forward there, they'll take it quickly and likely get the entry. It's up.
Oh! There he is, Hiddish Patel.
He missed one going across the goal earlier. He was holding hands with Vijay for their first goal, and not to be outdone, there he is, Hiddish Patel. What a cracker as we see this One Foundation replay again. Taken quickly. It's up off the stick there of Midish and not cleared cleanly. And that one, well, that's bases loaded. Home run there from Hiddish Patel.
Yeah, we've seen some great finishes over the weekend, and that was one of them. Really great just to get that quick shot off bottom corner.
Yeah, and really hard to defend as a goalkeeper. You got no idea where that one's going. And it's coming pretty quickly too, and it's just like that, CD double their lead. We talk in sports about the periods around breaks. They've gone 1 30 seconds before and 1 30 seconds after. Massive for CD. And really tough there for Wellington.
You already see the lifted energy after that second goal. Wellington really trying to push forward now, but credit to CD, just getting numbers back on defence, still pushing through, you know, that barrier when your legs do get a little bit heavy. So they are getting numbers back on defence right now, which is great to see.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if there's a little flip switch where they go, you know what, we're 2 down now. We can't just sit in this half court. We're going to have to go and put some pressure on, or whether they trust that process to work their way back. There's Christian Kajada, the captain here for CD. He'll step onto the sideline hit, just outside. Connor Narasi. Pull that one, it'll be 16 yards, in fact, off his stick. And the wind up out there at the moment, feeling for the sideline team at the moment, but they're out there, probably CD supporters.
Yeah, they won't be going inside anytime soon, I don't think,
No.
even if the wind and rain starts kicking off.
Yeah, and for the Wellington supporters, well, this is just a normal day for them.
Yeah, Windy Wellington, as they call it.
That one not able to be brought in there. Pranish Patel up the front with the headband.
Yeah, just missing a little bit of execution. Like, right idea to try again, get him behind the defensive CD. Just not able to connect at the moment. CD just rocket around the back again, just looking very comfortable with their ball movement, looking for opportunities rather than forcing it through.
Yeah, the one thing for Wellington is, you know, there's still plenty of time here, like 25 minutes or so left in this game. Though they'll feel like they fall off quickly, the minutes, there is still time there for them if they can get a good couple of opportunities. And here's the free hit for them just outside the 25-yard line. It's interesting to see the mindset in finals like this where teams go behind. They don't have to score all 3 goals in one play. It's they got to stick to what they're doing and what's working for them. Just get exactly the first one. Yep.
Mitch Patel again on the ball.
That's
great tackle.
Yeah. That's all 8 meters of his length there. Krish Gajeda.
And double turnovers there for both teams.
Yeah, getting a little bit back and forth. Upinda Dadra there. Out here on the ball for Central Districts. We'll roll it back to Yogashari. Yogi there on the ball. Again, Wellington happy to sit in that shape. And I think that 2-man, a lot of work at the moment being done by Akash Mora up there, number 2 for Wellington. That's a lovely pass for CD. I thought he'd done well to dodge the ball up in the air. I think maybe a bit of this Wellington wind blew it towards him.
Yeah, it might have, but great vision again from Amanjot Singh to find that crossfield pass.
Yeah, and we talk about how to break down a half court. If you can get a midfield to midfield slice, there's going to be some space in there.
Yeah, definitely. Again, just Wellington just missing that last bit of connection from midfield to striker or defender to striker. Yeah,
Nugs again will just walk it up towards the front of that shape there for Wellington. They'll be certainly a lot more comfortable than they were coming out into this quarter, doubling their lead. Jay Ranchod there, Sanjay Patel. Yogi has Milish out here. Here is Milish Patel. Up to the captain, Krishan Gajeda. Just run out of space there. Well defended.
You can see CD, you know, doing some good build-up, and there was some good midfield movement, like just the slightest movements to open up space and pockets.
Yeah, now a lot of attention being shown to Milish Patel. He take his hit, lovely little overhead pass too, brought under control there, and kept in. First to it will be Wellington, the ball across. Won't get through Yogashari. I know it's a tough ask on that reverse, but just a little skip might have made things interesting.
Yeah, definitely, but great cover defence to get that front space, and they look a little bit more in control here, CD.
Yeah.
Both defensively and just on attack at the moment.
Yeah, and you've got to say it is a little easier to play when you've got the 2-goal buffer. Bit of confidence, you know you're not chasing. Just to execute. That's an excellent ball down the line. Jay Ranchod, T-bar is open. And the entry. A little bit of a miscue in the end there from Prashant Chika. He'd done all the hard work.
Yeah, just needed to execute, but unfortunately on that occasion couldn't quite rein it in. CD looked to build it up again.
Again, Yogi's just getting these Wellington presses out a little bit further to try and open up the pockets in behind. And the trap comes from Midish Patel. They've got the ball going forward here, but it outruns Ansh Chiba there over the sideline, and Jay Parag's back on the field now for CD.
It's a great tactic here from Yogs, just to pull out that striker to come and defend.
Oh, hit
Let's get another.
Oh, thought he had a second bit of magic in him.
Yeah.
Great effort there. Jay Ranchod to come flying out at that receipt. Yeah, Yogs, when he holds the ball at the back there, he's almost calling the bluff of those strikers going,
Yep.
well, if you don't, I won't.
And I'm 2-0 up, and
Yep.
so if you want the ball, you come and get it.
Yep.
And every time he's on the ball, he just wastes an extra 5 seconds of time, right?
Yeah. And he'll happily just stand there until the pressure comes and throw one like that. Jay Parag now in a bit of space. Looking up. Amanjot Singh has come to move some shape, trying to pull Midish Patel out into the front line. They're going to get it too here. CD again, the work rate.
Again, yeah.
Yep. Connor Narasai.
Oh, there he is
Midish.
again, Midish Patel.
Here he is. Battle stations here for Yogs. And in fact, it's not entirely sure how that one works, but
I think it might have been the first one, and then Yogs come to clean it up, and you can see Midish Patel pointing, saying, "Nah, that's not you.
Yeah,
that's the other guy."
Upandadada there will get the 2 minutes. I don't know, if I was Midish Patel, I'd be saying it was Yogs all day. Give me a free avenue through the middle.
Oh, you can just see the class of Midish Patel again, you know.
Yep. Yeah, that's all sportsmanship in there. And they give away one. Wellington, they play her up here for 2 minutes. There's not too much more than that left in this third quarter. If they're going to strike, it would be an opportune time to do it now.
Yeah, definitely. If they can get one back just before quarter time, it will make this game very interesting.
Yeah, and you can already see there, just up again. Up, that's 3/4. And trying to put a little bit more pressure on there, the number up, so a little bit easier to do so. And here's the turnover. Oh, it would have been really interesting if that stick tangle wasn't a factor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they have looked to put up their press a little bit, and CD again just holding on to that ball, trying to get someone to come out and press them.
Yeah, I suppose when you've got the experience at the back of Jay Parag, Yogeshari, Sanjay Patel when he's out there, who are comfortable with players trying to put a bit of pressure on, you can do that just regardless of the height that Wellington is set in. And they'll get away with it there, Wellington. Into Midish Patel. There's the overlap here. Wadwa around Ranchod, Jay Ranchod. Wadwa, one-on-one. Great defensive work there, Jay Ranchod. Not an easy thing to do, ball in the air on your reverse stick. Wellington just pushing a little bit more here this last couple of minutes. Like you said, Hitu, if they can get one here, it's a huge swing for them. That's not going to help.
Oh. That could have well been interesting with Hidish Patel on the end of that one, with his bit of speed if he's still got some left in him in the gas tank.
Yeah, and the other thing to note, and you can't quite see it on the cameras, but the wind blowing pretty aggressively in favour of CD. So doing those hard yards becomes pretty tough when you're running into the wind. Still working there, Prashant Chika. Not many left, we're in under a minute. Wellington perhaps with one last throw of it here in this third quarter.
Again, just running out of turf.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing here at the Wellington turf. Not many turfs around New Zealand have that same colour inside as outside. And I mean, if anyone's used to it, it are these Wellington boys, but can become quite a visual difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think also it'll be good to see Wellington actually attack the inside a bit more rather than playing around the outside. And but you're right, the turf colour does sometimes play a factor. As Midish has just given it back to the other Midish.
Yeah, a little miscue in the middle of the field. That hooter there spells the end of quarter 3. And unlike most of the people holding umbrellas here at the moment, CD are in control. Up 2-0. I'll tell you what, if you were ever in need of a second-hand broken umbrella, come on down to the NHS. There's a few of them floating around today. But it's men's Section B final. There's the lollies. Upinadada straight into them. Here's some of the highlights to say Barry Crocker of a PC all around. Yogashari, he's been solid at the back for CD and just his control. And again, they've had to break down. This is the goal. First one for Vijay Soma. They've had to do some work here, CD, in breaking down the half court. This one, the second one.
Yeah, they've done well to take really quick free hits and creating their opportunities, which is always good to see. Yeah,
this one there, Prashant Chika. And look at that, Vijay Soma's got up off the ground for that celebration. He'll be making Pete Patel proud, I'm sure. And again, you called it at the back end of the quarter there. Wellington just caught going a little bit too much along that baseline and making it easy, especially on the forehand side of the CD defenders there. We saw that one cut out by Yogashari, and there were a few more like it in that quarter.
Yeah, exactly, and I think sometimes, you know, when things don't work out, sometimes you do have to just throw those little bit more chaos, I call it, you know, and really test the defence out. I think, see, they're quite comfortable with that baseline play and them getting the ball in. I mean, you saw Yogs nicely just get that front space, nice, cool, calm and collected, so if you just challenge that a little bit more, it'd be interesting to see what happens in front of goal.
Yeah, and with 15 minutes left here, Central Districts, they're up 2-0. Wellington, they've got 15 minutes to throw everything they can at this game. It's going to take some real excellence to break through, but that's what finals are about. And Central Districts, well, they'll stick to their game plan. Again, what's better than being up 2 in a final is being up 3. It'll be interesting to see, like you said, what differences Wellington, because they're the ones that have to force the hand now. CD are pretty comfortable in what they're doing. Let's see what tricks Hemant Lala has up his sleeve.
Yeah, I saw him talking there right from the start. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what changes they do make.
Overhead picked up, they've won it there. Here we go. First a little attacking option. Speed. And again, just not quite getting that last pass around the attacking third to stick, Wellington. That's kind of summed up the game for them thus far. Yeah, exactly. You know, just missing out on a few good attacking opportunities just with that last pass or last sort of receive. So if they can just clean some of that up, they may well get some circle entries and some attacking opportunities as CD come through now. Yep, a little bit of a channel there for Amanjot Singh. He'll win the free hit. Isn't it amazing to see there of Yogashari and his defensive effort just in? You'd think the way around him is just go fast and get around him, and he stays in it. He gets across the turf really well, Yogs, and again, it's just that experience of knowing the lines to hold, and like he didn't have to go tackle. He was comfortable just going into that circle, going, I'm going to make the tackle inside the circle, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. Versus, you know, you see some players just quickly try turn over the ball outside. But he knows what he can handle, and yeah, that was just great defence again. Yeah, and we often hear the term fat man's track is just knowing the shortest point between A and B. That's no slight on Yogs there, that's smart hockey. Yeah, exactly right. Here's Midish transferring the ball across, Sanjay. And again, they're just happy to hold the ball in this space and pull Wellington out. It's their game at the moment, CD. Yeah, and CD are looking to overload quite a bit, which is good to see as Kato comes through. Yeah, one thing we know of these CD guys is as much as they could, they're not here to park the bus. No. They'll go and keep going. They're looking for 3, 4, 5 here, and great skills by Kato on the outside circle to earn that penalty corner. Yeah, absolutely. As we see the One Foundation replay, edge of the circle, gets his free hit, takes his 5 yards, which is only one drag for him, and in there on the foot. Wadwa, you're not fooling anybody there. Now let's see if they've got another tactical play up their sleeves with a defensive penalty corner. Yeah, we joke about it. It's not what they were trying to run. They fell out of the goal and got things wrong. Wellington, it worked for them, I guess, but hopefully we'll see a little bit of better execution both sides. The flick is saved
Great
there.
save.
Yeah, Anil Patel, mentioned him in the build-up. Looking good there too in the pink pads for Wellington. Like I say, if you look good, you play good, and I'm sure Connor Naraso will attest to that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great ball to the striker there.
Here we go, Prashant Chika. Just got a little big on him there. And again, CD right up in their full press. You can see Vijay Soma directing. They're trying to get up here. Run a little bit of a split and it'll pay off for them there too.
Yeah, it's a great press by CD again. Taking some good risks there, blocking the help side off. And Here we go though, a little opportunity up through the middle.
Again, KD's got to put a 5 metre caution tape around him. You can't go anywhere near him. The reach is unreal. And they just found that one out there.
He's done some really good defensive work today in that midfield. And as a striker, you got to work extra hard, or a midfielder work extra hard to get around him. And haven't quite found that today.
Here's the turnover for Wellington. Can they create something up the line? Jay Ranshaw does the smart thing and just gets something in the way. Manish Patel under a bit of pressure. That's a really good receive there in the middle of the field. Under the pressure there, it was again Bhavit Wadwa. He's had a lot of work to do. Yeah, and that's what you do to get around KD, is you don't go near him. Pull it away.
Smart to Manish Patel there.
Yep.
As Wellington look to have an opportunity here.
Here we are, the turn. Oh, Yogs. Claps on the sideline from the CD supporters. Yogi. That's A-class defensive work there from the big fella.
Just the same thing again, the reach on Yogs there, and just a great reverse tackle.
Yep, and another one. Yeah, it's like when you run a training drill, Hitu, and you put the sticks or the boards in there. They don't miss anything.
No, they don't. And it's a good learning experience for these young Wellington strikers here.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about this men's B section, is so much learning for some of these younger guys, getting to play with and against some real quality players in the men's B section. Boasts really good things for both of these sides. Obviously CD, they'll be trying to push up to that men's A. Wellington, they're growing the stocks in their club. Of course, Wellington, they play in their local competition. So just building the layers up so that they have a strong contingent every year.
Yeah, 3 teams this year as they put in.
Yeah, massive.
Tackle.
And again, when you've got Sanjay Patel, Yogeshwari, and Krishan Kajeda, you've covered 2/3 of the turf with flat stick tackle. There's not a lot of space left out there. And there is a little bit of space.
But again, that
Yogs.
reverse tackle from Yogeshwari there just...
Even when you think he's got it wrong, somehow he gets it right. We've got to make a special shout out to Yogs. Bought me up a Beveragino earlier in the weekend. So massive from Yogs. And speaking of the support, we couldn't do it without the fantastic sponsors here of KBT 2023 and the Wellington Indian Sports Club. Of course, One Foundation, the major sponsor of the live stream and of the tournament. And joining them is Bolarama, Foursquare Awapuni, Just Hockey Newtown, Lambton Goods, Lion, Liquorland Miramar, Pack and Save Kilburnie, Paul Reddish Decorations, Office Public House Bar, and one specific sponsor who I know will be grinning ear to ear. It's Shire's Fruit and Veggies, the team down there at Dannyverk. Suresh, he's floating around in his red jacket. You can spot him there. Proud CD man. And the Shire's group, massive sponsors, not only of this year's tournament, but NZI for a long, long time. They celebrated 100 years in business last year, so huge support, and they'll be stoked with the way things are going at the moment in our men's B section final. CD here up, still 2-0 over Wellington. Less than 7 to play here in the fourth quarter. This is all or nothing now for Wellington B.
And there we have it. Tim Lala, 7 minutes to go, is it? Less than 7.
Yeah.
Pulling the goalkeeper.
Yep, so that's likely the last we'll see of Anil Patel, unless everything goes horribly right here for Wellington. And they've got, 6.5, or just over 6. It's straight shooter, 11 players on. They need to find the back of the goal at least twice. And Midish Patel, you can already see the intent. First pass, they're going for it here, and they have to. And there's only one thing worse than losing a final. It's losing a final without firing a shot.
Yeah, and look to see them press a little bit harder with the extra man, potentially going man-to-man.
Yep,
really
up in the full.
Happen.
And they've won it here on halfway, Wellington. Here they come. Midish Patel gets himself onto the ball, searching for his options. Lovely left foot pass there, finds Bovid Wadwa. Entry. And Yogs again. Showing his class at the back there.
Just so composed, you know, like in deep defence, carries it backwards and still so comfortable.
Yeah. And here's the contest. Upanadada does well there. And turns
skills.
Again. That's phenomenal work to get away from Midish. That one, a little sloppy in the middle of the field. It's going to be a bit that way for the next 6 minutes. Bit frantic, bit end-to-end.
Yeah, you can hear the voices have been raised now. Both teams, you know, pushing hard.
In the overhead. That's a nicely placed one too there. But the entry needs to come quicker than that. Yogesh there, he's pretty adamant that it hit him in the knee. I think even if it hit him in the ankle, he was saying it hit him in the knee. Yogs gets that one though. That one's too easy. Vijay Soma back there doing some defensive work. It's good heads up play, and you see the, well, most of the CD boys watch that one roll past the dugouts.
Yep, it's all hands on deck here for CD. It's always a tough one when you do have the goalkeeper off, whether you attack and try to score that one more. Great work right by Midish and Hiddish there.
Say, yeah,
what a combination.
I'll tell you a couple of people who won't sit in a half court. It's Midish, Hiddish and Connor. Oh, just overrun there.
Yeah, it's a good timing there, and that's sometimes always the hardest thing. Do you sit back and just defend, or do you try to get that extra goal and put it, you know, almost beyond reach?
Yeah, and got to say massive props there to Hiddish. I know Midish was the one that did the work and got up first, but you're only as strong as the guy that backs you up. And
exactly right, and Hiddish's work right there, just to be able to recognise the situation and combine, was almost paid dividends.
Yeah. And here we see Amanjot Singh, one of the young diamonds uncovered here at KBT 2023.
Again, just calm and collected, and I think they'll utilise the skills there.
Space on the right side for Midish Patel.
And Wellington have 2 high strikers, so for CD that's almost an extra number up when they do attack, if they can take it quickly here, which they do.
Yeah, what you'll see is the second Wellington either get clear position or a free hit, it's going long. I guess the theory is Yogeshari can't defend both of them, but I'm sure he'll give it a crack. Here we go, great
2v1.
ball. Still there for Wellington. The shot. Oh, Yogs. Good pressure, Sean. Yogeshari.
And you said it, can you defend both? Well, yes, you can.
he finds a way. It was a fantastic ball up the field from Midish Patel from Wellington to find those two high strikers, but that's going to take something pretty extraordinary to break through Yogs when he's playing like this. Just a little tangle up there. Connor Narasi's taking it. And down into the corner. Can't have long left hits, it's less than 2.
Yeah, less than 2, so, you know, great here from CD. Just sit back, all hands on deck for defence.
Yeah, and they're counting it down. They know they've got 2 minutes of big effort here. Hiddish working around him though, over to Wadwa. Oh, thankfully that's hit the foot of Connor Narasi. Wellington can't quite get that shot away. Midish Patel, he knows if it's going to happen, they need one right now. Less than a minute now. That's not the way to do it. No. The head goes back. I think they know it now at Wellington. Even with the speed of hockey, doing 2 in a minute when there's no stop clock is going to be near on impossible.
CD won't be taking this anytime soon. Here you see the ball just being knocked around. No one really wants the ball. Oh no, they've got the ball now.
Yogs has just overrun it 3 times on accident.
And over it goes. A few more seconds in the air.
Yeah, they'll know it's one more effort here for CD. There it is, Yogeshari. He'll head to his closest teammates, Jivanjot Singh. And we'll count it down there with them. 3. There it is. The CD supporters on the sideline, they love it. That is the men's B section final. Hiddish Patel, he comes and he takes his congratulations from the sideline. That is our men's B section final in the books. Hitu, big game, big result there for the CD boys. It's something they eyed up right from day one, game 1. And full credit to them in their performance today. Yeah, and well deserved. You know, they've been playing some outstanding hockey throughout the tournament, and to finish it off like that today, deserved winners, I thought. Wellington didn't go down. You know, they went fighting, but unfortunately on the better day, CD have just come out on top. Yeah, and of course a huge tournament, massive effort from all those involved. Of course, the congratulations go to CD, commiserations to Wellington. But man, what a fight they put up. An improvement from their first game where the result was very different to this one. Yeah, exactly right. And you could just see that Wellington tactics come through. And yes, they've done a great job to get the execution piece today. Yeah, and as the teams go through and do their handshakes, I know it might be hard to try and get in and find them with the celebrations. I'll let you talk through the highlights and I'll find our player of the match. Yeah, nice. As we saw the first opportunity here for CD, Vijay Soma. Having called upon keepers there early on. As you see Wellington's first opportunity come through. One of their better opportunities in the game. Went over the keeper, but great defence from CD to come back in numbers. Amanjot Singh. CD were quite comfortable just passing the ball around, trying to break down that half court. Looking for opportunities there. Wellington with their build-up play, just struggling to find a few connections in that front third, unfortunately for them today. They probably would have liked to create a bit more here as CD have another opportunity across the face of goal. This one here, so very close for Hiddish Patel in the middle. As Wellington look to build up their play, but again, yeah, just that little bit of misexecution. Got the reverse shot away on that occasion.
just missing the goal. Silky skills again, we mentioned it from Amanjot Singh, earns a free, and then good decision making there to get them on the 5 and earn a penalty corner. One of the most interesting penalty corners we've seen, where the runners almost stay in the goal. And then here's the opening goal of the match. Sanjay Patel with a nice slider. And Vijay Soma and Hitesh Patel in there to get that final touch. One of the strengths we saw of CD today, quick free hits and then great finish from Hitesh Patel in the bottom corner, the back of that play. To see another angle of it, and yeah, just spectacular for that second goal for CD to really put the numbers on Wellington. Kato here with some good skills, gets in, gets the 5, easy free hit, penalty corner. Great stick save there off an Amanjot Singh flick, which is quite good, and then here's Wellington just pushing towards the end. But there he is, Jogshari, just great defending. As we look to now that wrap up the replays and we head on down to Brad, who is now finding the player of the match as CD look to celebrate their winning the TNG Shield, as well as the B section final, and I'm sure we'll get the player of the match after these photos have done with the massive CD contingent who are here to support on their team, as we see there in the shot. Great work to CD today again, and commiserations to Wellington, who put up a good fight.
Hey guys, I'm down here on the turf with our men's B section player of the match, player of the final, grand champion, shield winner from Central Districts. It is Hitesh Patel. Hits, what a massive game. Excellent goal scored by you, but big performance from the team. How good is it to get over the line?
It's so good. We've got a really good, strong squad this year, good bench, and the boys just held in there. A lot of tired legs, a few injuries, but we managed. Would like to get a few more goals, but a win's a win.
Yeah, that's it, and that's finals hockey. Sometimes you've got to take them as they come. Big goal scorers in your earlier 2 games. Tough one against Bay of Plenty to get you guys here, but you got there in the end. Talk to some of the experience as it played out in the final, the likes of yourself, Midish, Yogs at the back, Sanjay, K-Day, guys that have played in big games before. How influential was that for this game?
Pretty influential, so we've got about half the squad that knows what finals hockey is about. We've played these teams, we've played at tourney past 17 years. We know what to expect and we know how to hold in there and get the win. We were down, but we know how to come back, and that helped us yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only the men's B section final, but the 10G Shield as well was up there. So double win for the CD boys. You guys will be pumped. Fantastic goal from you. Congratulations, brother. I'll let you go and celebrate with your team.
Cheers.
Well done.
Appreciate it. Thanks to our supporters. CD for life. I am
And that is our men's B section final. Central Districts, the winners in the end, 2-0 over the local Wellington B side. CD, the celebrations tonight on the way back. Big final. We'll be back here with our women's game coming up shortly, live from Turf 1. We'll see you then.
Roberts through the middle. Aria for three.